Hey guys, it's Justin again with another Tutorial Tuesday video. Coming close to the end of the weathering segment. I'm running out of ideas here, so what I'm going to show you now is a secondary method for achieving sort of a textured look to your model kits. If you don't necessarily want to, I don't want to say ruin the surface of your model by physically altering it, or perhaps you're working on something like resin or some sort of different cast, and you don't, you know, modeling glue will not work. You can use this method with thin down putty, which I'm not going to do just because it takes a little longer to do. Basically, you would thin this down with just a tiny bit of lacquer thinner, kind of get it liquidy, and you can even add a little bit of like baby powder to it, and it'll give it a nice texture. But one of the easiest ways to get this effect, uh, super simple, super easy to do. You literally just take some Mr. Surfacer 500, or I think most lacquer-based primers would do the trick. And you get a nice flat brush, something that's not too beat up, too destroyed. We're going to go ahead and use this one if it's not stuck to anything. And it's kind of stiff. You probably want to get something you don't really mind messing up. That's also a key thing here. And we're going to try this on my Archelon. I don't know how to pronounce that still. But as you can see, I've textured one of the knee pads. I'm going to go ahead and texture the other one. And you literally just take this, dip the tip of your brush into it, kind of wipe off a little bit of the excess, not all of it, but not very much, and just very gently dab it onto the surface. Now at first this kind of just covers, but as the primer dries, remember it's a lacquer base, it's going to start getting a little bit sticky, and that is where your texture is coming from. Is you're going to start building up small layers and pulling up part of what you've put down, and this will create a texture. It's very subtle, like you really won't notice too much of it, like just looking at it. But once you hit it with like an actual layer of primer, you'll see the texture. Another thing is you gotta let it dry. So, and then you might want to go in a second time and just very gently, stupid fruit fly, just build it up. And there we go. So we've created some texture. Now I think I'm going to go back and kind of add a little bit more to this knee. And you don't need a ton, but then what you can do with that is, if you aren't completely satisfied, you can actually strip it using like, what is it, isopropyl alcohol, or I believe acetone does the same thing. I could be wrong there. But like any of your normal methods for removing paint will get rid of this. And if my camera focuses ever, no. Nope, not doing it. You can sort of see it. There we go. It makes a really nice texture. And I've done this on a few plates around this kit. I've also done a little bit of welding lines and things like that, but we're not really going to get into that. But it does make a nice texture. You can feel it. And if you think that the texture is too strong, just take a piece of like 1000 grit sandpaper and just give it a nice little buff. Don't really apply too much pressure, and you'll kind of remove part of that. So that is my alternate method for creating texture. Again, this is really nice for if you're using or if you're doing a resin kit and you can't use the original method I showed. This way will definitely work. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully you learned a little something. I'm gonna go out and try and put some primer on this guy. So I'll see you later.